In this video, we're going to walk through Handout 7-3, which is the application of the lower or cost of market valuation methods. The idea behind the lower of cost or market valuation methods is if our inventory has gone down in value, in other words, what we could acquire it for now. Notice, originally item A, we purchased it for $30. Now, if we were to buy it, it would only cost $25. Perhaps there's been a loss in value of our assets, and we should require that, or record rather, that decrease in the value of the assets in the current period. And of course, if we're decreasing the value of the assets, we also are going to need to record some sort of expense or cost, which in this case we would simply record cost of goods sold. So again, lower of cost or market simply looks at the value of currently replacing our inventory and comparing it to our original cost. There are two different ways we can apply our lower of cost of market: on an item by item basis, which is what we'll do in part A, or we can apply it to the total value of our inventory, which is what we will do in part B. The data we have in both parts is identical. We've got three items, item A, B, and C, and we have 100 of AA, 200 of BB, and 300 of CC, and we've got our original cost and our replacement cost. Let's go ahead with our calculations. When we look at item A, we can see that the replacement cost of $25 is clearly lower than the original cost of $85. In terms of item B, there's been no decrease or increase in its cost. It cost us $85 when we bought it, and it's still worth $85 today. So we can really use either cost for our valuation. When it comes to item C, however, we can see that we originally acquired it for $100, but to replace it today would cost us $102. The lower of the two, of course, is the $100. That's what we will use to value our inventory. So again, the lower of cost or market. For item A, it's the $25. For item B, it's $85. It's the same in either case. And for item C, it's the $100. In terms of valuing these items then, we simply take the cost, the lower of cost or market rather, multiply it by what? The quantity on hand. So 25 times 100 is $2,500. $85 a unit times 200 units is 17,000. And finally, 300 units at $100 per unit is 30,000. That gives us a total value for our inventory at lower of cost or market of $49,500. So when we apply our LCM rules on an item by item basis, we would have to reduce our inventory and record it at a cost of $49,500. That would be the lower of cost or market valuation. When we do it on apply it on a total inventory value basis, we need to calculate the value of each item at its original cost and calculate its current value at its replacement cost. So for item A, we've got $30 times 100 units, or $3,000. For item B, we've got 200 items at $85, $17,000. And for item C, 300 items at $100, or $30,000, for a total cost, acquisition cost, of $50,000. And that is at the original cost. Now, the current inventory at the lower of cost or market would be the replacement costs times the quantity on hand. So we've got the 25 times 100 for 2,500. We've got the 85 times the 200, which again is 17, and we've got the 102 times the 300 for 30,600. On a lower of cost or market basis, we would value our inventory at 50,100. The lower of those two is the 50,000 original cost. So we would not have a write down in our inventory to lower of cost or market if we apply the rule on the inventory as a whole. If we apply it on an item by item basis, we're going to have to reduce our assets by 500 and record an increase of cost of goods sold of 500. And again, we have the choice on how we want to apply the lower of cost or market rules.